Takže vás vítáme na nejdůležitější paralelní sekci této konference pro českou komunitu a doufám, že teď i pro celosvětovou, protože máme dobře připojené i lidi teda nejen z Evropy, ale z celého světa. Doufáme tedy, že vydrželi a jsou tady a mají překlad do angličtiny, takže nás uslyší v angličtině a vás, kteří tady budete dneska ještě říkat svých pár slov, komu všemu děkujete za cenu, tak vás taky uslyší v angličtině. Takže doufám, že budete mít tady hezký zážitek s námi. Já bych začal tím, že bych nás představil. Já se jmenuji teda Petr Chaluš a jsem tady s Lenkou Hloškovou a my budeme tady moderovat.
Dobrý den, dobré dopoledne.
A pojďme rovnou na to, protože máme malé zpoždění. Takže první informace, že národní cenu vlastně vymyslela Centra Euroguidance v Čechách a na Slovensku. A už je tomu 14 let, co tu cenu kolegové dali dohromady. Myslím, že v tom měla prsty mimo jiné i Silva Píchová a další lidé. Nebudu to všechno vyjmenovat, kdo to celé vymyslel, ale skvěle to funguje díky teda mnoha dalším týmům Euroguidance až doteď. A doufáme, že i dnes se to velmi povede. A Euroguidance tedy vidíte, co děláme, nebudu to tady opakovat, všichni to víte. A důležité je, že naším cílem je té národní ceny je, abyste pozdíleli v České republice a na Slovensku a v Srbsku a v Maďarsku a možná ještě v dalších zemích, protože se přidávají různé země, které podobně udělují národní cenu za podobných podmínek, tak abyste se navzájem inspirovali, abyste se učili sami od sebe. A to je ten hlavní cíl. A to, že někdo vyhraje, tady vůbec nemáme napsaný, to není náš cíl, ale určitě z toho máte taky radost, doufám. A kdo se může přihlásit, tak to jsou vlastně organizace i jednotlivci a více hlásí samozřejmě organizace, ale často za tou organizací pak stojí ten jeden hrdina, ten jednotlivec, ale někdy samozřejmě velké týmy. Jsou to školy, teď budu inspirovat vás, co jste se nepřihlásili, tak příští rok tady vidíte, že tady jste napsaný, že se máte přihlásit. Takže jsou to školy, všechny druhy škol, jsou to i mimoškolní instituce, třeba práce s mládeží, jsou to různé neziskové organizace, agentury, které pomáhají na pracovním trhu, jsou to i různé podniky, firmy ve smyslu toho, že dělají něco v tom soukromém sektoru.
That operate in the private sector, in career guidance field, they produce something, for example, they organize webinars, etc. It can be labor offices, for example, international projects like Erasmus, big projects, for example, from the programs that Monica from the ministry presented here before. So all those projects can apply for receiving the Career Guidance Award. These are the projects that applied. All these have participated. All those projects, you can find that in the book from this conference. From the names, you can't really say what they're about, but fortunately, every year we publish a conference book where you'll find all the contributions. And hopefully all of you who have sent us your abstracts about your projects will be included in this conference book as well. So we took the name from your application, we copied that into the book, and then we use that. We use the text. Lenka can comment on that later as well about the impact, who you are, and what did you bring to career guidance field. This is the second part of the table. So this is the list of all participants in the Career Guidance Award. And now over to Lenka. Thank you. I will mention that we had 21 applications this year, and as you could see from the names, they mostly dedicate to direct services, those services offered services to clients or innovated services. They also focused on developing new tools. Some projects served different target groups. for example, pupils of elementary school, secondary school students, or university students, all levels of education. There were also projects focused on people with a disability, for example, institutions that focuses in the long term on people who had been in prison in the past, with the socially disadvantaged groups, then elderly people, let's say, or let's say 50 plus. I don't want to call them elderly, but let's say more mature. And there were also projects from labor offices, contributions that go beyond public services, for example, some commercial projects and public projects as well. How did we assess the projects? How did we choose the winners? What was our methodology? Traditionally, this award is, the winners are evaluated by a jury. There are different members of the jury every year, and there are 2 rounds of the assessment. We have certain criteria, and we give points to each project. And then we evaluate each project in a complex way. We call it qualitative evaluation, but it's mostly about evaluating the projects. We have 2 independent evaluators of this type, and they evaluate the project from different perspectives. So this is slightly different than the points. So the first part are the criteria and the points. These criteria are published when we publish the call. So you know that beforehand. And then we have those 2 evaluators. The group of evaluators meet and we discuss individual projects. We discuss the number of points. We also discuss the written evaluation of the assessors. And after that, we reach an argument. We reach an agreement that we want to present here today. We have special mention and the main award categories. And I think we can get to the actual awards. Yes, because we want to give more space to you. Are you ready? Monica as well, because she'll help us now. We'll start with special mention, special acknowledgement. I think Lenka explained to a certain extent. We noticed something specific and we want to acknowledge that. And hopefully you are here from the Career Center of Masaryk University. Yes, so we would like to invite the representatives of the Career Center of Masaryk University to the floor. And you get the award for a very quick help to Ukrainian migrants in Ukrainian, for students and refugees, where you not only needed career guidance, but you had to link it with psychological help as well, especially in the connection with stress and war. Congratulations. Could you tell us a few words? Hello, I'm Sofia Berevska. I'm from Ukraine. I hope you can understand me because I've just started learning Czech. I work as a psychologist within the Career Guidance Center of Masaryk University. And in 2022, in the spring, a lot of students from Ukraine have come, around 500 people. And a lot of them were 16, 17 years old. They were very stressed and they had to decide very quickly what are their further steps, who do they want to become, what to do with their life. The team of the Career Center accepted this challenge, and based on this, we created this project. The main goal of our project was to support students from Ukraine in integration and adaptation in the local context, especially at the university, at Masaryk University. But we had to start with a global method, how to adapt students. We used this method, and I'd like to thank all the organizers to be able to present our experience here, and I hope our experience will help other universities as well with the adaptation and setting conditions for other students from abroad. Thank you. I'd like to thank for this award in the name of Career Center of Masaryk University. It's not just our work. I would like to thank Pavla Zelenáková, Monika Mikulová, Teresa Polova, and David Košátek from our team, who are unfortunately not here today, but they put a lot of efforts into that as well. I think you are on the board as well. You can meet your colleagues over there and you can ask them anything you want. Let's go on. Who's the next award winner? Again, special acknowledgement to this project, Start ID from JCMM from South Moravian region. This is an NGO from Brno, and the evaluators appreciate especially a new tool that supports local networking among students and companies. This is an online application that can help career guidance, not only in South Moravian region, I suppose. Welcome. Let's come on stage. Congratulations. Should I say something? Okay. I won't name all those. I'd like to thank for introducing this tool. There have been so many people. I would like to recommend you to have a look at this tool. You can find it at startid.cz, or you can find it through our website, jcmm.cz. There is a link there as well. Hopefully you'll be interested. I think it's not about local networking anymore. We are now approaching the system of hundreds of companies and thousands of students. Hopefully there'll be over 50,000 students next year and over 5,000 companies. We get already contacts from other regions as well, and another colleague of mine mentioned that we should do that for the whole European Union, not only for the Czech Republic. I'm very grateful for my whole team, which is very creative, and they realized that it's very difficult for students to get into companies when they want to do internships or work experience. And for the companies, it's the same. It's difficult to find the profiles of students, and we realized there is no such tool. Maybe LinkedIn, social network, but that is more specialized. That's a bit different. We realized we can create that ourselves, and I would like to thank all the companies that cooperated with us on creating this tool, for example, HR Fisher. And hopefully from this local perspective, it will get a broader perspective as well. Thank you.
At this point, there is a short break.
To bude překvapení.
And we will be moving on with our presentation. There will be a surprise. Info Carriera receives one of the main prizes for their contribution in the form of shadowing, which was specifically aimed at grammar school students. And again, please tell us something. Okay, I'm not sure if I will be also given the floor for my presentation. Okay, just a few words right now. So first of all, I would like to thank all of my colleagues who supported me, the headmaster, and also all of the students who took part in our shadowing project. And to all of the experts who took students to their companies without any fee. And I would just like to add that this project will also have a presentation of its own in just a few moments. And another award goes to the secondary health school in Blansko for their conception of student portfolio.
Tak, my také moc krát děkujeme za toto krásné ocenění.
We would also like to thank you all for this award. We are a business academy plus secondary health school in Blansko near Brno. And we also appreciate the work of our colleagues from JCMM who received an award just a couple of moments ago. So I'm speaking here on behalf of our secondary school, and I won't be long because we will have our own presentation. I'm the headmaster of the school. I would like to thank the vice headmaster at our school, and also I would like to thank everyone who was not afraid to join in our program. And a student portfolio for secondary school is something realistic. It can be done, and it can be very useful for our students, for their futures. So thank you. And this is a huge motivation for us to continue our work and to develop our conception, which is of course not finished. And now other awards go to career guidance for the 21st century by an association for career counseling and career development. It was an online course supporting, I hope it also will continue to support career counseling and development of career counselors.
A teď požádám Andreu Čirke.
And now, please tell us some words. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This was a group effort. It is a result of a lot of work. We put in 2 years of work, and we had 4 groups from 4 countries that together formed one bigger group. My colleague from our association, Alice Millerová and Katia Hašková, they are probably at one of the parallel sections, but then there were also our Slovak colleagues, Laci Ostrova and Vernika Zdiňová. And also we have a Polish colleague. So welcome. Hi. Who came to visit us here in Prague. That was a huge surprise for me. So I was the person who started this project, but I would like to thank everyone because it was a huge effort. Maybe if I had known what I was about to put in that project at the very beginning, I wouldn't have started it. But now that it is over, I think that it was worth it and I would do it again. And I would like to mention two important moments. First of all, why did we decide to go for this? We were a young association. We were created in 2017, and an older association, our sister association, invited us to take part in a project. So we were discussing with our partners that it would be nice to have something online, a course that we could offer to career counselors, something that would be available, accessible, that would be free, that would be online. And then they could follow up on that with coaching, with other activities. And we decided to start creating modules for our webpage. And Erasmus was a logical choice for us, so we applied for an Erasmus grant. I'm very happy this worked out. And then a second moment. My colleague, Zuzana Freibergová, who also has received one of the awards, she is sitting here somewhere, and she supported me a lot. Because when you are creating the project, drafting the application, that is quite complicated, and I am not an expert on that. So I decided to leave that to someone else. And Zuzana decided to help me to write it with me. And now I'm standing here in front of you. So thank you. This was a collective effort, and goodbye. Just a side note, you already divulged some of the awards to come. They were part of the International Erasmus Plus project, and that is why they will be presented in the Erasmus Plus section. So don't miss that. It will start at 12 a.m. And as you have already heard, you will see Zuzana there. Zuzana Freibergová, please come and join us on stage because you were the head of an international project that created an interactive online game for pupils from elementary schools primarily. And this has been your long-time focus in your life. Hello. Well, I was actually surprised because I didn't know I was a winner before Andrea said it. Yes, I did apply, but I didn't know I would win. So that was a surprise. And what have we created? Well, it is an online game aimed at elementary school pupils, age 12 to 14, but of course it can be also played by younger or older students. This game is online, it is free of charge, and it has a nice facilitating back office. If you want to learn more, you will be able to do so because we are part of one of the parallel sections. We will be in the Dream Room in one of the following sessions. Thank you for the prize. Not only on my behalf, but also on behalf of the Association of Guidance Counselors who initiated the project, and also the National Education Fund that unfortunately is ending its activity as of today.
To je z naší strany vše.
So that was it. That's all from us, and we will be handing over to our colleagues. Thank you to Monika. Thank you to the Ministry of Education for your support in our work. And we would like to now have two presentations by two of the winners, and you will be able to see more presentations after the break. So we will start with these first two presentations. First, we will have InfoCarriera, if I am right. Is that correct? Okay, so please join us on stage. And I think we do have enough time for you. So you have 10 minutes for your presentation. Okay, so it seems to be working. Hello, good morning. My name is Zdeňka Nováková, and I haven't been working in the field of education for long, so maybe you don't know me yet. I work for InfoCarriera, and I'm from Plzeň, from Pilsen. I would like to present our project, Shadowing, as an opportunity to experience the job of your dreams, your dream job. I had a friend when I was at secondary school, when I was at the final year, and I had a friend who was universally gifted, and he was hesitating what career to choose, whether to study law, medicine, or something else. And what I thought was that maybe the best thing would to simply try it out. So I wanted to find a lawyer who would make it possible for this boy to just spend a day with him. Before that, we also had career counseling with a counselor, with a student. And there was an interview that showed what this student would prefer to study. It appeared that he would prefer to go study law, and that is why we made it possible for him to spend a day with a lawyer. We already organized a couple of these shadowing sessions, and we also have this document describing the stages. The first stage is a preparatory one. At that point, we have career counseling, and this seemed very useful, very important also for secondary school counselors, because this is an opportunity for the counselor to start doing career counseling right at schools. So if there is an interview with a student, you figure out what profession the student would like to shadow. Then you try to discover whether the student already knows a professional from that field who inspires them. And if they already come up with a name, then it's the easiest way because you can directly contact that professional. But if they do not know, which, for example, happened with a student from Ukraine or with a Vietnamese student who didn't have many contacts, then you have a coordinator from InfoCarriera who will help you find a professional or an expert. Then comes another important stage. You need the student and the professional to meet and to make it clear what they expect from this shadowing day. The student should say what they would like to see, what they would like to experience, for example, a court hearing or a meeting with a client, if the professional agrees with it, and the professional says what is or isn't possible. For example, whether they can invite the student at their office if they are doctors, etc. Then they try to figure out what this day could look like. It can be one day or maybe 2 days. We had a lawyer who studied a case with a student, then the next day they went to court and they took part in a hearing, and then again they had a reflection after that, what was the development of the case. And then in this second implementation phase, you have the student going to the field, and it's not only about experiencing the environment, but also you can observe the professional. What skills do they need? For example, if you don't like speaking in front of public, maybe that's not the best choice for you to become a lawyer. And then the last most important part, the reflection part.
All parties meet there, including the career guidance counselor, and they reflect on how successful the shadowing was. The result may even be that the student wouldn't like to study anything like that at all. And this can be very important as well, because based on that, the student can choose another shadowing day and the student can try the medical doctor instead of the advocate, for instance. We try to help teachers and career counselors at schools as well, to include them in the shadowing project. And for this purpose, we created a shadowing diary. And this helps them go through the preparation phase. There is the profession I'd like to shadow. That's one of the cells in the form. You can complete this questionnaire. Then you have the date, the shadowing day, and there are the notes for the student here in the diary, and this is the reflective phase. What happened to us was that one of the first students that participated in the shadowing talked about shadowing in one of the regional offices, and then we had a lot of applications by other students who wanted to try shadowing as well, and we started helping teachers at school so they can introduce that in their schools. So now over 10 schools in the Pilsen region started with shadowing. There is even one grammar school outside Pilsen. They have the whole team for them, coordinator between the company and the student and career counselor, and they adopted the whole process of shadowing, and we only support them with this. And we consider this a big success. The shadowing is fully voluntary. The interest on the side of students is very high. Over half of each class of students is interested in shadowing, and we are introducing that in more and more schools. Thank you. Enjoy the conference. Sorry, this is the last slide. What are the advantages? Those are the advantages, and I think there are even more than those. Thank you very much. I'm sure you'll be able to have questions and to meet in the corridor throughout the conference. We'll try to launch the next conference, and then there will be the last slide. We didn't mention what's the price for you, so we will say that at the end. I will now ask representatives of the school in Blansko to come on stage.
Tak já nejsem z Blanska, z obchodní
akademie. I'm not from the Business Academy in Blansko. I'm from JCMM in Brno. You were able to see our director here who got the award for our application start ID, but we had so many other activities. One of them is supporting career counselors and career guidance at schools. And we are here with a presentation before Blansko, because Blansko is one of the schools we cooperate with. And before Blansko will present their system of career counseling, I'd like to tell you what we are doing. And this may inspire you in career guidance. You can use it in the development and career guidance at your school. We cooperate with elementary and secondary schools, and we realize that very often career guidance is perceived as something totally different from usual learning. There are some activities that are not included in the education. They are just random activities without a reflection, one-off activities, and they do not work with them anymore later on. So we started recommending schools to create a system of career guidance and to create the whole system, the whole strategy. The advantage is that career guidance will then become part of all subjects. There'll be then various activities, and this involves, for example, self-reflection. When we, for example, advise last year secondary students, they do not really know what to say about their future career. And those activities throughout the whole studies would help students to self-reflect better what might be their career choices. They may have a sort of a diary that you could see here a while ago. They have handouts and they keep them and they can get to them later at any moment. I will briefly show you the 6 steps that can help you to create a functional system of career guidance. In the poster section, we will have a poster with a QR code as well, so you can download the methodology from our website. The steps are described there in detail. The first step is setting the goals. The school must know what they want. So what are the goals of career guidance? What do they want the student, the graduates, to do after the school? There are several subsections: self-reflection, labor market, to know what are the strengths and weaknesses of the students, and then the development of personal and social competencies. The second step is a research of the existing activities at school. Especially teachers are very often scared when you tell them that you'll be launching a new system of career guidance, because they think they will have to do a lot of extra work. But no, I can tell you that they may be doing a lot of these things already, but they just don't call it career guidance. So this is good to map what activities are already happening within school that applies to the set goals. The next step is to create a list of activities that are happening at schools. Mrs. Voracekova from Blansko School will show you how it looks like. It can look, for example, like a table where you can see in which year and in which field you can do which activity at such school. And all people from the school will be able to see that, and they can follow up with other activities. And then the career counselor that talks to students can also reflect on these activities. The next step is the support of teachers, because some of the activities may be new for the teachers, so they may need to be trained in that. You also need to tell them what's the meaning, what's the sense of all this, and why it is important to involve it in more subjects. Another step will be described by Mrs. Voracekova as well. This is creation of portfolios as outputs of the activities. And then the last step, after a certain period, ideally after a year or 2 years, 3 years, it is good to have a look at what happened and to evaluate what was going on and what can be modified, for example. And now I'll pass the floor to Mrs. Voracekova.
Takže dobrý den, já vás všechny zdravím.
Hello everyone, I'm from the business school and healthcare secondary school in Blansko. I'm Nadia Voracekova, and I would like to present our project with which we applied for the Career Guidance Award. It is called Creating the School Strategy of Career Guidance with Creation of Pupil Portfolio. We can move on. We are the living example of what Pavla Fanikova from JCMM Brno mentioned. This all works. I can prove that. We met for the first time in February 2021 with JCMM members, where we met career guidance counselors in our school. You might notice that we had to wear face masks at that time. It was a bit difficult, but within our team, within the direction, the educational counselor, the prevention methodist and career counselor and the assistants from JCMM, we succeeded in mapping the situation in our school. We've set a list of competencies that we wanted to involve in our work. We mapped the activities that we already had at our school, and we tried to summarize what are the elements that we were missing in our career guidance strategy. We also created a plan that we presented to teachers, and then we moved on. The progress came with the next academic year when we train all teachers from our school together with JCMM, and we discussed whether the portfolio is something we want for our students. We have business department, then grammar school, and also department for nurses. We agreed that yes, we want portfolio for all students. We explained everyone what this portfolio means, and in October we started to create a brochure, a guideline for creating pupils portfolio. That's the brochure on the right. You can also find it on our website. You can even download it there. And we were looking for intersections of different fields, subjects. We wanted to start from the general and then include more relevant information in the portfolio. Another important factor was revising the visions and the school education framework that's called SVP. We created our methodology together with all procedures and forms. Very briefly, I want to show you how some of the portfolios may look like. At this slide, you can see the self-reflective activity. Those are some of the handouts that the students create within some of the subjects in communication, psychology, in some of the seminars. This includes values, temperament tests, efficiency of learning, etc. This is one of the fields, education fields, practical nurse, and we include documents that involve experience because that is part of the education curriculum. They receive a lot of materials at hospitals. You can see the big file at one of the pictures. There are a lot of materials from different wards, for example, from hospitals, etc. This is an example from our next branch, Business Academy. Students get 2 weeks of experience, and after that they have final work, and they also get that graded in their final certificate. Our program involves internships Erasmus+. So we have accreditation for all students, for all our branches of education. Our nurses to Beacon, for example, go to Germany. Right now they can go to Thessaloniki in Greece, and our business students can go to Berlin, for example, the working agency over there. And recently we've had a course in Austria, in Vienna. First, you have to log into application in Europass. You create your motivation letter and CV there, and this is part of the project. You have to do that in English or in German, depending on the country. At this slide, you can see our colleagues who may seem very reflective, which means that we are thinking about all those topics that are involved within students' portfolio. It's not just activity of the students. You always need certain leadership there. Even teachers must be trained and must know the methodology, how to convince the students to create their own portfolio, and how to encourage them to create such a portfolio so that they can have a whole portfolio at the end of their studies, and they'll see who they are thanks to that. And these are some pictures from the seminars. This is from June 2022, the end of the academic year. It was our first project day. And based on certain skills, our teachers reflected on students' portfolio. They led certain activities, either at school or outside school, or in the ICT classrooms. We also have the portfolios in electronic form in the app OneDrive, so the students can open them wherever they are and they can modify the content. And our students also downloaded the app Start ID and registered there. It was offered to us in JCMM in Brno. We were one of the first schools that was involved in this project. Right now, our students regularly register and they search for contacts for internships or work experience.
I think this is my last slide. Well, never mind. It was again a picture showing our school, while all of what I described to you is happening. So it is a story with a happy ending, and actually it hasn't ended because we have a lot of work to do and we will definitely continue in it. Of course, without the support of our colleagues from JCMM, it would be difficult to do so. So I want to point out that it is always important to have support and to have the processes set so that your work is easier. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We are a little bit late, but it doesn't matter because we can directly continue without a break. But I would like to give you the option to decide whether you want to stay here or move on somewhere else. Of course, our national awards do not end here. You won a certificate from us, also different trainings, courses, and travel visits. And you will be given instructions by us via email, but that is also on our webpage. If you want to see more presentations from the awarded projects, you can see the Erasmus Plus presentations. 2 of the winners were here, and they will be at the Erasmus Plus parallel section. Or you can stay and listen about examples of award winners from other countries. I would like to invite Dorian to join us on stage, and we will be continuing right now. And we will just get ready technically for the upcoming 50-minute session.